First team, the Memphis Grizzlies. They made the first
playoff team last year.
Dylan Brooks. I hate the shit out of you.
Why?
I hate him.
He's a feisty, tenacious defender. What's wrong with that?
I like the heart, but it got too much. He almost re-injured.
No,
he almost re-injured Donovan, and he still gave him the work. You see, Dylan Brooks, I hate you, but Donovan Mitchell's your dad. I don't know what. He's your dad. This is Donovan Mitchell's son. To everybody out there, this is Donovan Mitchell's son.
Jesus Christ.
So we'll see. But again, they were a playoff team. They won the play-in tournament. They had to win. They beat Golden State. Surprisingly, that was actually a really good game. The defense held, if I remember correctly, it was a really close game to the end. And then the last 2 minutes, they clamped the fuck up and held Curry to like basically 0 points. And that was a really good team. They had a really good team.
I mean, Dylan Brooks kind of keeping that grit and grind era of Memphis alive with the way he plays.
Yeah. And they play really fast. They were, I think, 6th in pace. They were 8th in pace. So, and they like to play fast, which they can. I mean, John Morant is one of the fastest guys out there in the NBA. And then you have, which is funny considering that they have one of the slowest guys in the NBA, freaking Kyle Anderson.
Hey, he's their change of pace guy.
Yeah. When you run one, I really like this team. John Morant, obviously we've seen, he had a really good season last year. He averaged 19 because last year was his second year in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, 19 points per game, 7 assists, 4 boards, on close to 45% from the field, 30% from the three. The 3-point shooting is obviously what is holding him back, because that was a storyline in the Utah series where he just couldn't hit a 3. But this dude was just killing us on the inside, on the mid-range footer, tough finishes around Gobert. And this guy is one of the top finishers in the league. And then you have Dylan Brooks, the shooting guard spot. That's lights out. That's lights out from 3, 34% from 3.
I think what's gonna unlock this team next year is whether or not Jaren Jackson takes the next step.
Yeah,
he was injured coming into last year, and we didn't really see much of him till like after the All-Star break.
No, he played 11 games,
and like even then, like in those 11 games, we really didn't see him like add on to his pretty impressive. Was it his rookie year? That was his rookie year, right? Or no, his second year, his sophomore year.
Yeah,
where he was pretty decent piece, and we were excited to see Jaren Jackson, John Morant lead this team.
Yeah.
So I think coming into this year, is Jaren Jackson healthy? If he comes in healthy and if he adds on to what he did that sophomore year, which got us excited, I think this team might surprise a few people.
Yeah, because he was on the uptrend. His rookie year, he only averaged 13 on 36% from 3. And again, he's 6'11", and he could space out the floor that easily. So he could easily play stretch 5. And then his sophomore year, he went to 17, increased the block by 0.2, shot better from 3, now went to 39.4, which if you round is 40%, which is
that's
incredible for 5'11". And then obviously he got injured, lowered his points again. And so it's going to be interesting because a lot of people have him in the basketball community as someone who's going to take the next step, that they have him as most improved for next year, or they're excited for his growth next year. Kyle Anderson, basically a point guard in a small forward's body. He knows how to switch the pace up. like it's actually ridiculous, like how slow he moves, but the fact that he's still fast enough to get as a defender to be on his hip still and like just to look you off and to hit the roller or hit a layup or hit a mid range. It's ridiculous. And there are some times where just like I low key want to watch Kyle Anderson film.
No, don't do that to yourself.
Like Kyle Anderson film, like the way he's able to control the pace, I feel like it's so underrated considering that like he's naturally slow, so he worked that way. And everyone else is starting to get fast that like once you see a slow guy, it's just like what like what do I do with this? I'm so used to
change-up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like what do I do with this? Like I know he's going this way, but for some reason I feel like so there's a Flash villain. His name is Turtle. So basically what he does is he's the opposite of the Flash as to where the Flash, you know, he himself is a speedster, right? Like he can run really fast. But his opposite, Turtle, basically it makes you think that he's moving fast, but really he slows you down. So that's what he does. That's what this guy does. Everyone else is the Flash. But this guy, he literally looks like he's going fast to you, but he just slows you down. So he just slows down in an up-tempo game that it just makes you feel like, what the fuck am I doing? So the starting five is solid. The Steven Adams for Valanciunas trade was very interesting to me. I didn't understand it.
I still don't like it.
I don't like it. It's almost player for player at that point. Like Steven Adams, Valanciunas are almost the same thing, except Steven Adams can't shoot threes. But he posted a video like 2 weeks ago or something about him shooting threes. So we'll see if he starts shooting threes.
Oh, did Steven Adams posted a video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say because Valanciunas he can shoot that.
No, yeah, Valanciunas can shoot that. Yeah, but Steven Adams was out there doing coming off elevator screens to the corner.
Yeah, that's
hitting threes.
That's
it's I typed on the comments. I was
like the great LeBron once said, it gets me frustrated when I see Hoopers working on things they're not doing in game. I agree with you, Bron. I agree with you.
Oh my god, bro.
I'm looking at you, Ben Simmons.
Looking at you, Ben Simmons. Jesus Christ.
I'm looking at this bench. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
I like the bench.
Tillman, senior, he's decent from what I saw against the Mavs. He's another big body. Brandon Clark, I don't know, man.
He's the vertical threat.
He used to be able to shoot the ball until he changed his form. I don't know
what the shooting coach
thought that was going to be a good idea. Desmond Bane, coming off a great year from beyond.
Oh my god, I didn't realize his downtrend. What the fuck? Rookie year, Brandon Clark 36% from three, and then he changed his form. Now he's at 26.
Yeah, so I don't know what his trainer was doing.
I
don't know. Desmond Bane, I'm mad the Mavs didn't get him in the draft last year.
Oh, what did he shoot? 40?
Yeah, he's stroking that thing. He could shoot the ball.
43.
Yeah,
damn,
that's valuable. He could even come in lineups where they want to put Jaren Jackson at the 5.
Oh yeah,
like Kyle Anderson at the 4, and he's there.
Yeah, they used to run the lineup where it was I think Tyus Jones, Brooks Bane, it was like an alter, and then Jaren Jackson, or Jaren Jackson at the 5, and then I had Clark when he used to shoot at the 4.
Yeah,
so, like that's dirty.
DeAnthony Melton, he's kind of a good two-way guard off the bench, I think.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that Jarrett Culver. That's interesting. Guy, he's fallen off. He was a sixth overall pick a couple years ago, and he's already a third stringer. That's
tough.
Oh man,
it's tough. He's a byproduct of having one good run in the NCAA. Like he's one of those guys where like you didn't really hear of him, but he had a good like one game in the NCAA, which was like I think the Final Four, and he had one game, and then like it took off for him.
Yeah.
And then he went sixth, and then this is exactly what he should have been, honestly. If we're being honest with ourselves. But he's nice. He'll play at some point. He'll play at some point. Even the third stringers are players that
Yeah, Zaire Williams, I like him too.
Zaire Williams is
I
gonna get run.
I think I like him more for Brandon Clark coming off the bench. I mean, he's a long wing scorer. I mean, in certain situations, like I think you play the 3 or the 4.
Yeah, because he's 6'8". He's 6'8". He can stretch the floor. So it's just somebody who can.
He just needs to develop. He's pretty raw.
He's really raw. So he will get run. I think, considering this team is very young, and they're just looking to develop off a good play. Honestly, like, you might not see it as a good playoff run, but going from beating a good Warriors team, taking one in Utah, and then ultimately losing, still having 5 games of play, basically 6 games of playoff experience under John Morant's belt, under Dylan Brooks' belt. Kyle Anderson obviously has had playoff experience. Jaren Jackson more playoff. You bring another guy, Steven Adams, who has playoff run. So I mean, it's just youth for this team. So this team is on the uptrend, obviously. And then Santi Aldama is he went 30th. Yeah, he went 30th. 6'11" center. Basically, and they can shoot the ball. He's almost isn't he similar to like Şengün's skill set?
Like a post guy, yeah.
That can shoot a little bit, yeah.
What's it called? I think they brought in Steven Adams for that trade. I feel like they kind of want him to like bestow some knowledge on some of these young guys like Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson, and Tillman. I mean, he kind of doesn't fit with what the team's trying to do.
Yeah, it doesn't. So when I heard that trade was happening, it just, I don't know, it didn't make any sense to me. Like, I think what was there was another transaction that just didn't make sense to me. Let's see, what was the trade to get him? Let's see, it was 3-team trade where the Grizzlies traded Brandon Boston Jr., Trey Murphy. That's what it was. I didn't understand that. I like Zaire Williams, but I think Trey Murphy was way better for this team, considering because Trey Murphy the third is actually going crazy right now in
preseason.
In preseason, he's dropping 20 on like good shooting splits, and he was a small forward, so I liked him better. Valanciunas can shoot the 3. Right? They sent him to the Pelicans, and the Grizzlies traded.
And it's not like Valanciunas was like lacking in the rebounding department or like being a good like screener. Like he did some of the things Steven Adams did pretty well, and he's still able to shoot. So I don't know.
Yeah, the Grizzlies lost horrible trades, because at the end of the day, they got Zaire Williams only and a pick for they got Steve out all the trades they made. They got Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, Williams, and a pick, and losing Trey Murphy and Valanciunas. But at the end of the day, they only kept Zaire Williams, Steven Adams, and the pick. And when I saw that Eric Bledsoe was going to this team, I was like, what the fuck were they doing? They literally, like, it feels like they're ruining it. They're ruining the team. When I saw that Eric Bledsoe was going to be a Grizzly, I was like, what the fuck are they thinking? What are they doing? And then there's also another rookie that we kept there was just no space for him. How do you say his name? Yves Pons? I think
it's Yves Pons.
Yves Pons, but
I think why silent.
Yeah, he's nice though. He's nice. I like him. Another vertical threat for them. It's basically the same team as last year, just with more experience under their belt, and now with Steven Adams and Valanciunas, because it's literally the same. It's the same team. It's the same
Oh, it's Ev
It's
Pons.
Ev. Okay, it's the same team except Steven Adams just replaced Valanciunas. That's
That's pretty much
basically
what
what
I'm
it.
seeing here.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's the same team from last year, which they're good enough to be. They're good enough to be a 8th seed because they were a 9th seed last year. Yeah, this is good enough to be an 8th seed. I mean, so if you were here for our last episode, you would know how this chart works. So the dot on the far left is everything before everything before before Christmas. The dot in the middle is post Christmas, and post All-Star break is the dot on the far right. And according to this, Memphis has about the 12 13 14 15th hardest schedule, so middle of the road.
They're smack dab in the middle. Not too hard, not too easy.
No, not too hard. And I mean, it gets kind of hard to start the season, in which in which they play the Clippers, literally the second game of the season. Then they're at the Clippers, at the Lakers, at Portland, at Golden State, then Miami, then Denver twice. Oh, that's tough.
Back-to-back
Jesus Christ. Washington, then Minnesota, then Charlotte, then Phoenix, New Orleans, Houston, LA, Minnesota, Utah, Toronto, Atlanta, Sacramento, Toronto, Oklahoma, Dallas, Miami, Dallas, the Lakers, Houston, Philly, Portland, Sacramento, Portland, Oklahoma, and then Golden State. So that's all the games before Christmas. And that's hella hard. And then after Christmas, doesn't get any easier. Sacramento, Phoenix, Los Angeles, San Antonio, Brooklyn, Cleveland, Detroit, the Clippers, Lakers again, Golden State, Minnesota, Dallas, Chicago, Milwaukee, Denver, Dallas, San Antonio, Utah, Washington, Philadelphia, New York, Orlando, the Clippers again, Detroit. And then at that point, it's after the trade deadline, or after the All-Star break. And then they play pretty easy teams after that. So if they're in striking distance because this is obviously, we've seen this is a good enough team to where John Morant can carry them.
Yeah.
The pace that they play at, they're middle of the road. Last year they were middle of the road in a lot of things. They were 15th in offensive rating. They were 6th defensively. This is a really good defensive team.
Yeah. So.
And they were 15th in total net rating, 15th in points per game, 16th in opponents' points per game, 15th in the simple rating system. So they're a complete middle of the road team. So this is easy enough to be an 8 seed, 9 seed again, considering the schedule they have. This middle of the road team. This is the middle of the entire thing. So
I actually think, if they take a step forward as a unit together, so Dylan Brooks gets better, John Morant takes another step, we get the Jaren Jackson back from 2 years ago, maybe a 6, but like you said, they're probably going to be a playing team again and fight for one of those last spots, 7 or 8 seeds. So
yeah,
that's what I see happening. I mean,
they're obviously, let's just go through the teams. I mean, they're not better than the Warriors, they're not better than the Lakers, not better. They could be better than Portland. They're not. They could be better than the Clippers, honestly, without Kawhi. They could end up higher than maybe Dallas if there's another thing. They're not better than Denver. They're not better than Phoenix. They're not better than Utah. And they're better than the Spurs. They're better than the Pelicans. Better than the Kings. So yeah, they could be. High. Ceiling is probably 6. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Their ceiling is probably 6. 6, and then 6 through 8. They're not missing playoffs, especially with this playing tournament. There's no way they're missing playoffs. If they get anything lower than 8th, this is a bad season for them. Honestly, this is a bad season for them. If they get anything lower than 8th. Please leave down in the comments. But if you're a Memphis fan, what are the steps you think Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to make? Is he most improved next year? I think he could be. There are a lot of good candidates for who's going to take that next jump next year, considering that there are a lot of new people and new teams. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is surely one of those people that are for sure probably going to take that next step. So yeah, please make sure to subscribe as well.